Hello, everybody. Welcome to Expression Pass here on Bossrush Network. I'm your host and lighting excited Eddie V. Joining me is the one, the only bossman himself, Mr. Corey Dirrig. Hello, good sir.
Hello. Don't you want to watch me transform and just put a giant 2 on my face? I can do that.
Oh, wow. And everybody.
You can call me the Boss Man 2.
Bossman too. And
Boss
everybody.
Man too.
I have the phenomenal photographer himself. The curating content of charisma.
Ooh.
Mr. Andre
Ooh.
Wilson. Hello, good
Ooh.
sir.
Hello. That was smooth. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this nice, cozy Sunday.
Yeah.
Yes.
We don't have much to talk about today, unfortunately. We're just kind of hanging out.
Just hanging out. The boys just hanging out. I was saying to Ed, today I drove over to a friend's house. It was like 40 minutes out from my place, and I just drove over to his house, sat on the couch, and we just played like Silent Hill 2 like all day, and like it was just like blankets, just chips, just cozy Sunday vibes.
Nice.
Just hanging out, and now I'm back home, sweater on again, cozy Sunday vibes.
Nice.
Yeah, I told Andre I stayed in, played Switched, beat Blade Chimera, only went to Culver's to get something to eat. It came back. And I stayed in my room most of the whole day.
Wow. My I stayed home. Miles and I played Mario Kart and Mario Party all day. So like that's why I was running late, because our game of Mario Party was running late.
You gotta finish you gotta finish it.
Yeah. Yeah. Mario Party, man.
How old is your son?
3.5.
Can he play Mario Party?
Yeah, I mean, sort of,
because my son, I got my son Minecraft for my Switch, but I've introduced him to the N64 expansion pass on Switch, and now he's like in love with Yoshi's Island, and he keeps on insisting we play Mario Party 3, and I'm like, you're 4, you have no idea what you're doing, and he's like, but I want to play it. I'm like, why? He's like, because I do.
It's actually funny. I thought about, because my daughter wants to learn how to play stuff too, and she's 6.5. And so like she's been playing Yoshi's Crafted World a little bit, and they play Mario Kart a lot with the helpers on, like the stay on the track and go by yourself type thing, and then they just kind of have gradually been weaned off of those things. But I actually found it really easy for my son to learn by playing Ninja Turtles, the side scroller, the Shredder's Revenge.
Oh, no way.
Because like he likes to mash the buttons. His problem is moving. And so like just moving right to left and up and down, it has become like really simple for him to learn how to do that in that game. And that's how he's actually learned how to play other games.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Which is crazy, because you think of the beat 'em ups and you think of they're like extremely hard, but like in terms of just like staying alive, but
yeah,
in terms of movement and just the simplicity of the gameplay itself, it's actually, he actually like really enjoys it.
That's awesome though. Well, at least he's like taking what he learned and applying it to like every other game now. So that's good.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to apply that Southpaw control scheme though, because he likes to use the right stick, because he thinks you move with the right stick, and I was like, no, you got to use this one, and he just keeps trying to go back to the right one.
That's so funny.
That's weird. Wow.
But I'm not gonna no, because if I introduce the Southpaw thing, then he's gonna also use inverted controls and be one of those weirdos, and can't have that.
Have no friends,
Zero, none.
Well, zero friends with.
I don't even think kids know about inverted. I don't think there's a lot of games that have inverted controls.
Every game has them. They just have them off by default. Usually.
Yeah, many games now, they're not toggled on. They're still there, but like they're just not on anymore.
Yeah,
I mean, even when I go to the option screen to see even like button configurations or control, it's never there as an option. Sometimes it's just like, this is the controls. You can't do nothing. You cannot customize it. You have to adjust to what we have made the game to be with its controls, and that's it.
That's fair.
Wow.
You know what I hope doesn't have inverted controls is the new console that got announced.
Oh, the Game Boy Advance 2?
Yeah.
SP Plus Micro?
Super Game Boy Advance? Yeah, that one. Yeah, that one.
With DS capabilities.
Yeah.
I almost, like, obviously we're going to talk about the Switch 2 tonight, but I almost wish they would have called it like the Game Boy, like the return of the Game Boy or something.
Like the Super Switch or something?
Yeah.
Like I was listening to a podcast on the way home, and they were talking about that, how like the podcast host wanted it to be called the Super Switch, but he said in reality, like Switch 2 makes sense because say if like a mom or dad is going to like a GameStop and they're like, hey, do you have like the Super Switch? Is it just like an upgraded version of the current Switch? Like Switch and Switch 2 are very like, you can tell them apart. But like Super Switch, like for older gamers like us, like it would make like that nostalgia kick would make sense. But for like newer people who don't really understand, they'd be like, well, I don't need to get the Super Switch because my son or daughter has a Switch. So it's like a PS5 versus a PS5 Pro. Like you don't need it. It's more of like, I would like that. But if you define it by like a number, it's like, oh, okay, this is the successor.
Yeah, that's what Ed and I were talking about on Pal Block yesterday. Was like Switch 2 is the smartest thing they could have called it. Yeah, because you avoid the Wii U situation, right? Where like people don't know if it's an add-on or another console or an upgrade or whatever, right?
I feel like that thing was all just stupid.
Well, I think you weren't paying attention. I mean, I think people weren't paying attention, but also like, you have to have marketing for the people that don't pay attention, right? Your marketing is only as good as the dumbest people, right? I mean, that's
fair.
But even Nintendo, when it came to, I'm gonna let you take over, Corey. But I'm like, even when Nintendo said this is the Wii U, this is our next console. As gamers, why did that not? Because what made it hard to comprehend?
The problem with the Wii U marketing, okay, Ed, as somebody who is in marketing, let me tell you, the box at first glance looks awfully similar to the Wii, right? Just laying down. They put the tablet in front of the box, right? And then they show people playing with the Wii remotes first. Those are the first three things you see of the Wii U. Plus, it's called the Wii U. And the logo, the U logo, looks like the tablet. So it looks like you're adding on to the Wii, right? So like that's the problem with that marketing, is that it looks too similar. They didn't show it properly. And then it's the Xbox One problem, right? Like we talked about it, yesterday, Ed, with the Xbox One and the Xbox Series S and X consoles. Like that first year, people were buying the wrong consoles. The messaging was bad. The boxes there, like the Series S looks almost identical to the Xbox One Digital S.
Yeah.
And so like that was an initial problem too. So my thing is, the Switch, calling it the Switch 2 is the smartest thing they could have done. PlayStation has never had the problem that Xbox and Nintendo have, but with naming conventions.
Well, because they keep the name and they just add numbers.
But that's effective, right? It's not flashy, it's not cool, it's not crazy, but it's clearly effective, right? And so, the Switch 2, because the Switch is popular, you want to keep that name,
right?
And then using the number 2, obviously means it's not the same. So
and if they was gonna I feel like if they was gonna call it a different name, they would have developed something a little bit more innovative in its creation, in the way that it look and some of the stuff that it does and everything. So you probably wouldn't even see that it had a dock or whatever. And because Nintendo literally could have just been like, well, here's a USB thing. You just plug it in
That would have been awesome. I wish they would. I wish there wasn't a dock. I wish you just had HDMI out, or like a little, like not even a dock, just like a little cradle you set it in, like the Steam Deck ones. But
I have that exact thing that you're talking about, and it's amazing. I love it.
Yeah. But honestly, like, you know, Ed, again, we said this during Power Block yesterday, but Nintendo's current leadership is extremely conservative compared to Iwata and Reggie, and, you know, probably even Miyamoto too, right? I mean, and they know what's working, and they know that third party is going to drive, so they need that power. But they also see like the rise of you know, the portable PC market, right? And so they want to make sure Nintendo stays ahead of those markets, right? And they want to make sure they get that install base in these consoles before PlayStation and Xbox brings out their portables, right?
Because you know they will.
Yeah, Xbox has already said they're going to bring one out in 2026.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I've heard a rumor that apparently Sony's going to revive the PSP. So
yeah,
and I'll just say this: they do that. I mean, woof. Let me tell you.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting thing, and I think we'll do an expansion pass, and we'll get LaRon in on this too, and maybe it'll be me and Ed, Andre, and LaRon talking about, you know, the Steam Deck and the ROG Ally, and then
just like handhelds,
Switch, and how like they are proving that bringing your like there is room for a handheld space as long as you can play wherever you want. Right.
Me and Andre had that little conversation before we started. Like cause we even talked about this in Pablo Corey that, you know, I told Andre, I'm like, right now with the Nintendo Switch 2, I'm like, Microsoft and Sony is not going to be able to compete with Nintendo, because in this point in time, it's going to have to be Valve and the ROG Ally and all of them handheld PCs. They're the ones that's going to be competing with Nintendo, because Nintendo could change stuff with their hybrid console at any times. And Valve them can't do that. I'm like, if you upgrade it, you put in more memory, probably a different screen, and that's really about it. You're not gonna do anything with any controllers or stuff like that. You're just gonna upgrade the thing to run a bit faster, have more memory, and that's it. And that work. That's work for them. The handheld PCs, like. I don't think they are in a space to innovate where Nintendo can. And so the competition is going to be like, okay, if Nintendo is doing all of this and just out of specs and power and all of that, if Nintendo is doing this, Valve and ROG Ally, are you going to step up your game to meet them or surpass them? And if they can't do that, then what? Then what's getting those new consoles or those new handhelds gonna do for you? Just to play something a little bit better? Oh,
yeah.
You know, because when it comes to Steam, everybody just hope, oh, I hope this game is Steam Deck verified, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing, right? Is like Steam users want to play their, you know, like and Steam's tried, right? They've tried with the Steam Box. They've tried multiple versions of Steam OS on various platforms that just kind of didn't really work out. And now you look at Steam OS, and it's like the premier OS for portable handhelds, and where Microsoft is like out there trying to say, we want to either partner with Steam and make sure Xbox works on Steam devices, or
we want to beat them,
emulate it as best as possible.
I do know that the new Lenovo Legion Go S is the first the first handheld that can have third-party Steam OS on it.
Yeah.
I do know that. But yeah, I mean, like, the Steam Deck, like, Steam OS is very simple. And that's what I think I gravitated towards the most buying a Steam Deck, is I was like, I just want something I can turn on and just play my games, and that's it. There's no having to boot up Windows and drivers. It was just, I push a button, it turns on. I pick a game, it turns on, and that's it. Right? It may not be the most powerful handheld, but I'm not sitting here for like 2.5 hours playing something. Like, I have a job, I have kids, you know, I'd like to do other things. But it is nice to have the convenience of playing AAA games on the go. And I do think this year is going to be a big year for handhelds. Either it be the Switch 2, new things from Valve, ROG, Sony, Xbox. Like, I think handheld gaming is definitely going to be a bigger thing moving forward.
I think it's because of Nintendo having that history of handheld gaming, but that handheld gaming was separate from consoles because handheld gaming had its whole own library. It hasn't had a console library until literally the Switch has came. And as much as people judge Nintendo when Switch was first revealed, and they were just like, well, it doesn't seem powerful. It's not gonna probably have this many games. I'm like, for like you said, Andre, when we was talking, for like 8 years, they have been running things. They have all of these games, not only from first, but from indie, from third party. PC developers have been putting their games on it. It's just like it's changed the way on how gaming is done, because like you said, you want a game on the go. You know, there's a lot of things that you're doing. Like Nintendo changed all of that.
Yeah, and like I've said this to a few of my friends, and just people. I'm like, I don't care what you think about Nintendo. I don't care what you think about the Switch, but I can tell you for sure what the Switch did for gaming and portable gaming and hybrid gaming is a huge thing. I'm like, I don't care how you feel about Nintendo. You have to give respect in the regards what the Switch did for gaming. The fact that you be playing a game on a TV and then just pick it up and continue without even like a drop of a dime is insane to me. And from the Switch, we got the Steam Deck, we have everyone else being like, okay, wait, like, what if we do something? So like, again, I don't care how you think about Nintendo. What the Switch did though is insane, and you can't even like downplay that. Right. And for 8 years it did it. For 8 years it did it, and the numbers don't lie. So
yeah, and you even see people like, like Gabe Newell has come out and said, hey, the reason why the Steam Deck exists is because we saw the potential in what the Switch was doing, and they thought that they could do the same thing, right? And that's, I mean, Valve is a really fascinating company, right?
Yeah.
And the fact that they're still privately owned is mind-boggling. And when at the end of the day, when Gabe decides to sell that company at some point, which he probably will when he retires, right? Like, that company is going to be worth so much money.
Oh, for sure. Like, my God, yeah.
His like great grandchildren are going to be wealthy.
His family tree is set.
Yeah. So
the seeds that haven't been planted is rich.
yeah. It's crazy that like the fact that Valve is privately owned, like what Valve has done, and like that's an awesome thing that Valve said, hey, look, like we got inspiration from the Switch. Like that just, again, that proves my point deeper in the sense of that what the Switch did is one of the greatest things I think in gaming like ever. So and now, with the Switch 2 on the horizon, I just only think it's going to solidify what Nintendo has found. What they've dug up in this formula of the Switch is probably going to make them a lot of money.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, definitely. Well, we were talking about the Joy-Cons, how now they're going to probably be used as a mouse for some games. So now, not only can really the Switch 2 is going to almost in a sense be like, okay, this is not only your console, not only is this your handheld, this may be your reason for PC gaming. If you if you gang with the WASD in the PC in the mouse setup, if Nintendo could be like, we could provide that all with one click, people are going to be set. It'd be like, well, I don't have to carry my computer. I don't have to carry this accessory. I don't have to carry, everything is all right here. If I had to add anything, would be that WASD, and that might be like a Bluetooth controller or something that all you need to bring.
Yeah. I do think though, like in terms of the games that people want to play on PC. Like mostly, I'm thinking FPS mostly like the first person shooters and other type of shooters, right? They want that frame rate, and then that's where Nintendo will probably lose them, right?
But I think that's okay because if I'm not mistaken, Nintendo has only ever focused on just making like fun games.
Yeah, no,
Right.
that's what I'm saying though, is like I think that the effort is being shown that they want new types of players in the ecosystem, but at the end of the day,
they're not going to make sacrifices.
The people who want to play, like Sony's or Herman Hulst, the co-CEO of PlayStation, has kind of come out and said, yeah, the reason why we're putting our games on PC is that PC gamers have just proven that it doesn't matter really the exclusives you put on your console. PC players are just never going to go out and buy a console. They want to play on their PC. And so, they're experimenting on trying to get people on the PlayStation platform in other ways. And Lego Horizon was probably the first example of that, right? And I expect to see many other examples when the Switch 2 comes out. Like,
oh yeah,
older PlayStation games, like I would say like Sackboy's Big Adventure would probably be one they would try to put over there and see how it does. I don't think you're ever going to see the newest God of War on there or whatever, but
on the Switch,
yeah. But I could see them like that Greek saga that's been rumored for PS5 for a while now, like the first arc, right? Like I could see them maybe trying to put that on Switch a year after it comes to PlayStation.
I could maybe see like the first 3 God of Wars.
That's what the Greek saga.
Oh yeah, pardon me. Yeah, okay. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, I would say probably all 6 of those games, the PSP games and Ascension, the prequel that came out.
Yeah, I mean, they did Batman on like the Arkham series on the Switch 1.
Yeah.
Right. So and that was the Switch 1. So now we have the Switch 2. I'm sure there's going to be a bit more experimenting in the sense of what can we port that actually runs pretty well.
I think it's going to be. I think if in order to get more Sony on Switch 2, I think Microsoft and ZeniMax and Bethesda are going to go hard because.
Well, we already know Microsoft. I mean, I think that's why Switch 2 was announced early, to be honest, because I think Microsoft is going to say that they're bringing games over on Thursday.
Yeah. But Bethesda not saying Bethesda having a hold, and I'm only going with Bethesda because I know if they could get the Doom trilogy on there, the modern Dooms, the ones that's coming out that came
on Switch 2.
On Switch 2, if they could get
Eternal and Doom 1 are already over there.
I mean, they're backwards compatible and they're gonna be upgraded. But I'm just like, if they get like the third game, if they have the trilogy for anyone who hasn't, yeah, right. If anyone hasn't brought those games on Nintendo Switch, I think people are gonna probably get all 3 of those games and play it on Switch 2. I think if we're getting, and I'm speaking of this in still on the PC mind of the mouse and keyboard kind of shooters for first person shooters. Bethesda has a lot of them, a lot of games that they could go on. If Microsoft be like, yeah, you can also play it on Game Pass, but you can play it on our box, you can play it on Windows, Steam, and also Nintendo Switch. I think that's going to get players to be like, I'm going to get this one on Nintendo Switch because I can play it on the go and everything. And if this helps it.
I think that's what Sony I think that's what Sony wants to avoid too, right? Is people moving because they want to take their games with them. And like Steam Deck obviously is kind of remedying that for them for an extent, but like a Nintendo ecosystem is different than a Steam ecosystem, right? Where like people the Switch has been a complementary console to the Xbox or the PlayStation in most households, right? Like you either have one in a Switch or the other in the Switch, right?
Yeah, like my Steam Deck is my main thing, but my Switch just complements that tenfold. Like I'm never not gonna have a Switch because it's such a complement. I think it's a complementary system where if I'm like I just want to chill, detach, maybe go save Zelda, maybe go race some carts, maybe go bang some drums and like it's always that nice like palate cleanser of a console.
Yeah. before we go any further, Andre, you weren't with us on the discussion on Power Block yesterday. What are your thoughts on the announcement of this thing, of the Switch 2?
I feel like, so obviously, I kept my nose to the ground a lot, and I did see a bunch of leaks and everything. They were scattered around the internet, so I kind of knew what it looked like prior. But it's a real shame that it got leaked, because I felt like this trailer was like when on Christmas Eve, when you open presents and your parents find out and they're like, fine, just take it and leave us alone. Like, it was a very like Nintendo dropped it and they're like, here, just have it. Because you kind of already know, right? And just don't talk to us for a bit. So, but regardless of that, just seeing Nintendo like drop the trailer, I was like, even though I already saw it, I was like, ooh, this is cool.
Yeah.
My first impressions of it is that I like how I think it looks like the size of a Steam Deck, but it's thinner. So I appreciate that. I do appreciate the color scheme. I've talked to a few people and they aren't really keen on the whole black. I think it's sleek.
I like it.
I think the black with the pops of color. My only, I guess, like if I could change it thing was is if they made the buttons colored as well, but that's just that's a personal thing. The thing that I think is cool. Do I think there will be other colors available later on in the year? Maybe it'd be cool if they did like a Super Nintendo edition where it's gray with like the colored buttons, or a GameCube edition, or an N64 edition. I think it'd be cool if they did that. But overall, I think it looks sleek. I think it looks spicy. The black really complements it. It's bold for Nintendo to not look all colorful and happy. They're going for a more sleek approach, more slick. Seeing Mario Kart was very cool. I was not expecting that. And I don't know if anyone has caught on, but seeing 24 spots on the Mario Kart track got me excited. I was giddy because I remember even watching it too. I paused it and I was like, hang on, that's 24 people. Hold on. I was like, are we getting 24 people in Mario Kart? Because that is just pure chaos. Like, and I even was talking about it in a YouTube video I made. Like,
where can
Mario
we find that
Kart
YouTube video?
Sorry?
Where can we find that YouTube video?
Andre Wilson, Jedi Master Binks at youtube.com. I am plug portable Papa Deck Daddy. You can find me there. I think Mario Kart launching with a Switch is one of the best things they could do, because you're not gonna get it.
I told Ed they should be really bold and pack it into with the console.
That's what I think is like. They might do. You can buy the Switch and the game on the side, or have a bundle for like $50 more. But I honestly think you're telling me if your friends Timmy, Fred, and Jim all buy the Switch too, and you're like, I'm cool, guys, I'm not gonna buy it. You're not gonna buy it.
Yeah.
Because the minute you see all of them being like, yo, let's play, you're not going to be the only one out. Like, having Mario Kart as a potential launch game is probably the start of the takeover that the Switch 1 has done, because a big question was, how can they crush the numbers the Switch 1 did?
Yeah.
I'm sure that's a big thing that they have in mind, and I feel like Mario Kart launching with it is a start to that.
Yeah.
Well, Mario Kart is the system seller. It is.
It's 100% because it gets people together, and it gets, hey, do you have it? No, go buy it. Come play with all of us. Like it gets people to buy this system.
Right. And you know what I found out? Like, so there a lot of times when I'm like, and Andre, I'm sure you get this way too, like editing video, and like you have this big project you're working on, and you're like, oh my gosh, I just feel like I'm working all the time. And then like you wrap up that project, and then like your kids come down and start playing a game with them, or like, you know, like this weekend I played Mario Kart and Mario Party with my kids, you know, almost all day today.
Yeah.
Even my wife jumped into the she never jumps in. And
that's crazy.
Like, I'm like, while we were playing, I had that, like what you said, Nintendo is all about making fun video games. Right?
It is,
it's all about fun. You're never going to get The Last of Us out of them, or Gears of War, or Halo, or something like that, but you're going to get these types of experiences, right?
Yeah.
And like experiencing that today, like I have that kind of revelation every 6 months or so, like when my kids want to play, and I'm just like, this is what this is supposed to be, you know. We get so wrapped up in the news cycles and the politics of things and the weird things that go on in the game industry these days, like
life in general.
And it's just like, man, I forgot that this is why we play games right here. It's not, you know, yes, we like good stories in games. We like good, interesting, kind of sometimes controversial things happening in games, but like, I don't know, man. It just simpler times.
Sometimes the escapism could be fun. You know, just fun for us getting away from focusing on life stuff and just enjoying the moment with other people, of us laughing, creating those memories of, you know, messing up or winning a challenge or beating the game all together. That's what gaming is kind of is for, in a sense.
Yeah, like it's a nice palate cleanser when I'm playing Ghost of Tsushima and I'm like cutting people down with a sword and everything, and then I go downstairs and I can play like Yoshi's Island with my son, or watch him play like Minecraft, and he's like, Dad, look, I can make a golem, and I'm like, how? You're 4. I don't know you could do that, right? But
my kid can't tie his shoes, but he can like
oh yeah, dude. Yeah, like my son is like, we're like in the midst of potty training and it works and like it's going good, but my son can make a house in Minecraft with like a library room and a bedroom, and I'm like, you're 4. How do you know how to do this, right? And to backpack off what you said, Corey, not even just like with our kids, but even with like us, like at the age we still get giddy when a new Mario game comes out and a new Zelda game comes out, and I'm still like, look, I'm playing it before anyone else does. Like, if my kids are like, can we play the game? I'm like, I have to first because I want to.
Dude, I'm excited to jump into the new Donkey Kong game that just came out. The new old Donkey Kong game.
Right. So, but like, it's just, and I don't know if that's just the Nintendo effect, but like, I only really ever get it with like Nintendo games. Like I've said this before on here, the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, I will boot up once a year and just kick back and just be like, let's do it again. Let's go save her again. You know what I mean? So I don't know if it's the Nintendo effect, but it does. The Nintendo systems just bring people together, and there's smiles always.
Yeah.
So and I can't see the Switch 2 just not doing that. It only improving on that.
Yeah. I mean, my thought on the Switch 2 is that I think the adoption rate will be slower, to be honest with you, because, you know, they're moving from one of the best-selling consoles that just had another record-breaking holiday for some reason, right? Like still selling like 2 million units over the holiday season. And now, you know, being at what, like probably almost 150 million units now, right? Closing in on the PS2 record. Like the Switch had the thing going from the Wii U to being the Switch and what the Switch currently is today, right? Whereas now we're at a point where maybe people don't want to move on right away. It depends on how Nintendo supports the Switch moving forward, right? With you know, my thought is the Switch's lineup for the rest of its life cycle is going to be remakes and remasters, right?
Kind of, essentially.
Yeah. And then like the Switch 2 will have like the new games, right? But like at the same time, I think the Switch 2 is going to sell. I bet it sells just as well as the Switch at the end of its life. I really do.
Yeah, and I was talking to Ed too. Like, I think a lot of people right now are just kind of holding their breath and waiting for the direct in April to see like spec wise, like what can this thing do, hardware wise, spec wise,
and like, you know, the rumors of getting like major AAA third party support, not just like, I mean, PlayStation gets Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which is amazing, and then we get Octopath Traveler 1,
3,
right? Which is like Octopath Traveler is an amazing game, right?
It is,
but it's a game that the Switch can handle, unlike Final Fantasy VII Remake or Rebirth.
Yeah,
and the big rumor right now is like Square's going to start bringing all those games over: 7 Rebirth and Remake, 16.
I've heard like Metal Gear Delta,
Yep,
Final Fantasy,
Red Dead 2 might come over, like
Metaphor, and I mean, again, you have those games alongside Mario, Zelda, Link, and everything. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
That'd be insane.
That's what I'm saying. You get those types of games, on this handheld. Like people will sacrifice the quality of a console to take it with them portably. I mean, we saw that with Wolfenstein and Doom right away, right? Like
started with The Witcher 3.
Yeah, I mean, The Witcher 3 also sold like 3 million units on the Switch. What, like, why? I mean,
and I mean, because the thing about it is, definitely you're gonna get the Japanese, because the Japanese market, once they see Dragon Quest 12 on it, like if Nintendo puts Dragon Quest 12 on Switch 2 as the like the reveal of how the game is gonna look, that's going to blow up in Japan. That's gonna get people to be like, oh, I definitely need a Switch 2 for this game. I mean, they're still gonna buy it for Switch and everything, but they be like, oh, the reveal of this game is on the new console, and Nintendo got somewhat the exclusives to show up first. Yeah, I'm gonna need a Switch 2.
Yeah.
Because I think like a Mario 3D game, we probably would get it. I'm thinking later on in the year, almost like we did Odyssey, that we got it later on in the year.
It's either going to launch with, I think my guess is that it launches with Mario Kart, and then the Mario game will be the holiday game. It's going to, Corey. I know I went like this, and my camera has the weird. I need to turn that stuff off, man.
I did already. Yeah, that's why I can't do it.
Because I think definitely Splatoon is going to be a big one.
Yeah, I bet Splatoon 4 is already. I bet if it's that game's out within the first year.
Yeah, Splatoon is going to be a big one. Fire Emblem, the whatever version, is going to be a big one. Me and Corey talked about Monster Hunter Wild, but I feel like Capcom is probably doing
insane.
But I think, this is the thing about it. I don't think Nintendo's going to get WoW.
They better.
I think
they would be dumb not to, is my opinion.
I think Capcom and the Monster Hunter team is cooking up something completely different for Nintendo. Like Nintendo would get it first, and then and everybody else would get it. I think it's the let's do this particular game for the multi-platform, and then let's jump to Nintendo and keep bouncing back and forth that way. I think that's what the Monster Hunter team is planning to do.
I think that's a bad idea. And I think you're
wrong,
but that's okay.
But it's been making them money and they're getting them sales. That's the thing about it. Because everybody gonna look at Capcom. I need a Okami 2 to be on my Switch too. Like,
I bet Okami 2 sells 100,000 copies. I don't think anybody really cares about Okami 2.
I think people do care about Okami 2.
I think there are a select few, but it's like, remember when the quote unquote the entire internet went crazy for Mirror's Edge Catalyst, and it sold like 60,000 copies? Nobody cared, right? That's what I'm saying. It's like there will be that select few who will really care about it, and then half the people probably don't even know what Okami is, right? But I mean, again, Capcom is able to do that because of the money they bring in with Monster Hunter. And I mean, the one game I think will be on Switch too, honestly, is Kinetsugami, that strategy game that Capcom put out on Game Pass last year. Like, that's a game I think would do really well on Switch too.
This is a hot take, but I am hoping that they finally revive Twilight Princess and the Wind Waker for Switch 2.
I mean, that's what
I think those games are going to come out on Switch 1 and be backwards compatible.
Yeah,
I think those games are going to be like. So my theory, Andre, is sorry, I know my camera's here, but you guys are over here. My theory is that Twilight Princess, Wind Waker, Metroid Prime 1 and 2, HD, and then what was the other game that I was talking about, Ed? That they're all going to be like, they're going to sunset the Switch, are these HD remasters of these games that people want. And I think
sunsetting, I haven't heard since Destiny. That's crazy you said it.
Yeah, I know. I think those are the games they're going to sunset the Switch with, because you can play them on Switch too, right?
Send the Switch off.
Yeah, and like people who don't upgrade right away can get those games and play them, and like you're going to sell those games into an install base of 150 million. You're saying you're going to sacrifice what? Let's say the Switch 2 sells 5 million units by holiday, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to sacrifice 145 million potential players? No.
And
with
all four of those games. And all four of those games, people are going to buy. Prime remaster sold 3 million plus. Mm-hmm. Everybody's just like, regardless of if it's a double pack or not, they're going to do. I mean, everybody's waiting to rebuy Wind Waker HD. People are waiting to buy Twilight Princess. HD. Like, people are willing. The people who missed out on the Wii U versions, they're willing to put this money in and get it.
Yeah, I'll say it right now. If they did Metroid Prime 2 and 3, Wind Waker, and Twilight, like 4 separate games, I'd pay all 4 times.
I think Twilight Princess and Wind Waker will be separate releases. I really do. I think
you think so?
They're gonna want to get $60. You can get $60 out of Zelda remake easily.
I would easily pay full price for both.
My theory was that Metroid Prime 1 Remastered was a test to see if people would really want Metroid Prime.
And then 2 and 3 is a package.
And 2 and 3 will be a package. Like
that's
Pikmin,
fair.
Like Pikmin 1 and 2 were.
Yeah.
Right? They sold those together for $50, I think. 40,
yeah.
50
like they could easily do a Twilight Princess with like an amiibo pack, and same thing with Wind Waker, and they would still sell.
I mean, because I think Prime 2 and 3 would definitely be a double dip game. That people will be like, okay, it's Shadow dropped on Switch. 2 weeks later within that month, or a month, or 3 weeks later, whatever, now stores got physical, people will go get it. So if I'm so eager to buy this game, I'll give you 60 for the digital, because that's 2 games. Mm-hmm. And then I'll get the physical for another 60. I already gave you $120 for the same games. Because I know the physical, once people be like, man, I wish I could get that Metroid Prime 1. None of the stores carry it. eBay got us for $250 plus some dollars and up.
Yeah. Like I, Corey, now that you said that would be to send off the Switch that way would be really cool.
Yeah, I think whatever remakes or remasters they have left in the pipeline that they're planning are going to hit the Switch 1. Right.
And I think just like in months' time, just be backwards compatible. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and I think you're gonna see some remakes or remasters of like Wii games are starting to pop up. Right. Yeah. I think you're gonna see more GameCube games.
Yeah.
You know what my other thought is
we still got Wii U stuff that still need to come out.
Yeah, I know. But you know what my first thought was, Ed, actually, is if the 3D Mario isn't ready for launch.
Mm-hmm.
Is that they launched that thing with Mario Galaxy 2 HD.
Oh yeah.
I have a question for you both. Do you think the Switch 2, and I've had this thought, Switch 2 in-docked, if you pop in a Switch 1 game, will it upscale it?
Yeah.
I think so, because I think that's the way that NVIDIA technology inside works. Jeez. It's like a custom version of DLSS.
Okay. Like how PS5 Pro like upscales PS4 games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I can see it being a thing. Again, I have to kind of see spec wise and everything. But that would be cool as if I pop in, say, if knock on wood, if Twilight Princess comes out Switch 1, I buy it, I wait, God forbid, crack it open, pop it in my Switch 2 docked, and it like upscales it to like 60 frames or something.
Yeah. Ed and I were talking about a Twilight Princess remake last night from the Andre. Did you ever see that Wii U tech demo of The Legend of Zelda for Wii U,
where he fought the giant spider?
Yeah.
I still need that game. I still need it.
Yeah.
I literally told Corey, I'm like, what if they took that game, took that demo, made it as a game, but upscaled the graphics, like really give it some even more polish and detail, and be like, this is the next Zelda game.
I mean, Ed was teasing me with a Twilight Princess sequel, and I got really upset thinking that that's never going to happen.
I don't even know like what you would do for a Twilight Princess sequel though.
You would find them. You would put the mirror back together and go find Midna.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be crazy! Oh my god!
Spoilers, I guess, for the end of Twilight Princess.
It's been out for 1,000 years.
Yeah, it's 22. It's 20 years old.
If you haven't played on GameCube, Wii, or Wii U,
they've re-released it 3 times.
Go emulate it at this point.
Yeah.
Well, don't emulate it. Find ways to play it.
Play it.
I just said find. Look, I just said find ways. I know
that would be
you find it.
That would be a crazy sequel. Oh my god!
But it looked like that Wii U tech demo.
And the thing about it, Anuma, Monolith Soft, and the Zelda team can easily do it.
Yeah,
I mean, we are like
you know what that would do also, Ed, is like I think that's an awesome way to keep like. You know how people have been wanting "quote unquote" traditional 3D Zeldas back after Tears of the Kingdom?
Yeah.
I think that is a great way to have your 3D Zelda games, your traditional ones, is to make sequels to the already existing 3D Zelda games. Or like you could remake Ocarina and Majora. You could make a sequel to Skyward Sword and Twilight Princess and Wind Waker. Like you can make sequels to those games and make them traditional 3D Zelda games and still keep your brand new Zelda games as the open world survival Breath of the Wild style games.
Oh,
you upscale Ocarina of Time and throw in like a few new things, it would still sell.
I mean, you just throw in the Master Quest with it. That's what you got to do.
Nitty could already make extra coin by re-releasing the Wolf Amiibo for Twilight Princess 2.
They already did twice. For Twilight Princess 2? Yeah, I know. Stop. I'm going to be sad. I want it.
Because Switch 2 has to be having people think of, okay, what about Amiibo? Does that carry over? And I believe it is. If Nintendo had you invest in all of this stuff for the Amiibos and they still are making money from releasing them, it'd be crazy of them not to do it for the
They
next
would
Zelda
be
game.
so silly to be like, yeah, sorry, you can't use your Amiibos anymore. That would be insane of them to do.
But you already got the backwards compatibility for the games that still use it. So why would you cut that functionality off?
Exactly. Yeah. Have I ever told you guys about like my theory for like if they were to go like a sequel to Tears of the Kingdom? Have I ever told you guys like my thought?
I think we talked about it at one point, but I don't really remember. I'm going to be honest.
Like them going on a boat and exploring.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I can't remember if I did, but yeah, like. If you were to remake Ocarina and Majora's and then just make sequels to other games, I don't care who you are, it would still sell.
Yeah.
They would print money.
By the way, I've been seeing a lot of like, because everybody hates Twilight Princess until recently when I've seen a lot of people say, man, Twilight Princess is actually pretty good. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, it is. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
It's the best Zelda game. It's my favorite Zelda game.
It's one of my favorite ones.
I think in terms of the traditional 3D Zelda is my favorite.
Some really great dungeons. I still love that Ice House dungeon.
Yeah, I think it has great tones. I think the Wolf Amiibo is sick. I think it has some of the coolest moves. The fact that you meet the hero Shade who teaches you moves. Like I still think one of the coolest things in the game is when Link jumps up and then like impales you on the ground. Like the tones, the story, the gameplay, the atmosphere, Midna's lament, the music, and everything about Twilight Princess is just awesome. I love it.
Yeah. Love it. Do you know who Aaron Grubb is? The musician Aaron Grubb.
I've heard that name before. Yes.
Yeah.
You should on Twitter.
Yeah. Also, I think Celeste did the ad read during the pre-show recording for the Bossies. Yeah, you should listen to his Zelda music.
I'm gonna have to.
It's amazing.
Is it good? Okay. I'll keep that.
I told him. He asked the question if you could taking some Zelda music and putting them in different genres. What would you like to see? And I told him I would love for him to do disco and gospel. and just see how that would turn out. There's tracks in the Zelda universe that could be turned into different genres, and I would love to
I can
hear that
see
from
that.
Aaron.
I can see that.
So. The forest thing in Ocarina of Time. You turn that to a gospel shout track. You could do it with ease. As many people has turned Zelda music to like hip hop beats, you can turn it to different genres.
You probably could. Another good one that like is a close second is probably Wind Waker.
Mm-hmm.
Like a close second.
I've been thinking about replaying Wind Waker recently. I was having a conversation about Wind Waker with Jess Rappaport recently, and because she just replayed it, and it was like, man, now I kind of really want to replay Wind Waker because it's like really good.
Yeah. Oh, question for the team. Do you guys think Switch 2 launches since we have GameCube expansion, or sorry, N64 expansion pass, and Game Boy Advance? Do you think Switch 2 launches with a GameCube expansion pass?
No, because they're making too much money off of the GameCube sales.
Yeah, the Switch remakes. Yeah, all the remakes are. I mean, we did some sort of expansion pass on the amount of GameCube remakes that are on Switch, whether they're from Nintendo or not.
Yeah,
there's almost 30.
Really? Damn, yeah. I didn't know that. That's crazy. Yeah. But no Star Fox Adventures yet. Nintendo, come on.
That's fine. We don't need.
Oh, I know. I love that game.
Now,
tricky.
If you Dreamcast NSO would be the thing that they would release.
Yeah, I think it would be really interesting if they went to other consoles and started putting their games on, or like. The thing is like they've already almost exhausted their first party stuff, especially on the NES and SNES, right? And like the third party games have sold collections, and they're making too much money off of the collections they're selling to put those games. Like you're never going to see Mega Man on there because the Legacy Collection sells too many games, right? So yeah, Castlevania is another one. I think they're going to have to do something. I don't know what they're going to do exactly.
So much speculation.
Yeah. I mean, I think it would be cool to do like GameCube and Wii and stuff like that, which honestly, I think if they keep the Switch going, that'll happen eventually. But I think at some point they're going to give you a choice to buy the remake or remaster or whatever they're doing of those games, or sign up for Nintendo Switch Online and play the originals, right? So,
because either way, you're spending money on the game, just either digitally or physically. So, pick your poison at this point.
Yeah. Which I think putting GameCube on there, people would sign up because you know how people complain about how it's too expensive to pay $50 a year,
right?
For that.
Yeah, you keep the same price, but add that on there, people will heartbeat.
Yeah,
in a heartbeat pay.
Dude, I think if they doubled the price of expansion pass, I would still pay for it. I mean, you think about what you pay for Xbox Live a year or PlayStation Plus, it's like $120 minimum. Well, I think PlayStation, it's like the core version of it is like $80 a year now.
Yeah, I don't know. I think in Canada it's like 100. I think.
Yeah,
but still, and that's for core. That's not for like premium or anything. That's just for the base, which is crazy to me.
Yeah, it's to the point where like, it's to the point where like I think I'm going to get rid of my PlayStation at some point because I don't ever play it. Those games are available on.
So what do you have?
What do I have?
Yeah, like PS4 or PS5.
My PS5. It's a digital PS5. I think I'm just going to get rid of it at some point. And like, if Xbox makes a handheld, I might get rid of those consoles too and just have those around because like I don't use my Game Pass subscription. I'm paying for PlayStation Plus for what? I don't know. I downgraded it for the first time in like over a year.
Dang.
To Essential instead of whatever that middle tier is. I wish they would rename these things. They
Essential
have the
Plus.
system right there. Still bronze, silver, and gold. It's right there. It's right there.
It's easy.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'm with the amount of time that I don't have to play games, to me, it's not worth owning all 3 consoles anymore.
I've got into the mindset of just having 2, and 2 really defeats the the need to pick and choose, because I have the Switch for first parties. My Steam Deck is everything else. That's it.
Yeah. So I mean, like I like having Game Pass, and I like having my Xbox for Destiny and stuff like that. But like, with the way
outside of that,
yeah, I mean, like, you don't need Xbox Live for Destiny. It's a free to play game, so you don't need to pay for it.
You can if you want to, but at the same time,
yeah, I know. But I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
you don't have to. And for PlayStation, it's like not even worth it anymore. You know, and it's I have to pick one or the other to keep, right? But honestly, it depends on what Xbox is trying to do. Because if Xbox is going away, like the consoles at some point, which I know they said they're going to release one more, right? But like,
and then just call it quits.
Eventually, that console is going to go away, and they're just going to be a third-party publisher. I think the only reason why a new console is coming out is because Phil's pushed for it, and he's going to see that console come out and retire. Right? That's my opinion.
Yeah.
And Sarah Bond is going to take over the Xbox division, and which she kind of already is anyway. And then it's just going to be Xbox is going to be a third party, and I think they're eventually going to even sunset the Xbox name, right, and make it Microsoft Gaming Microsoft Game Studios again, right? Like, I don't know.
Could you even see Microsoft doing a Sega?
Yeah,
just going from first to third.
I mean, they already are. You're seeing it right now. It's just that they have the means to keep a console on the market, and Sega did not. You know, that's that's the only difference.
Because like Sony, I think Sega is somewhat in the position of releasing another console, but they're not even going to be doing the mini consoles. I think they're
we had that discussion that Sega is actually probably out of everyone who could who has the IP to sustain a console, it would be Sega, right? With they own Persona, they own Metaphor, they own Yakuza, they own Sonic, they own all these classic IP like Jet Set and Crazy Taxi, and they have their MMO and Phantasy Star Online, right? They have everything, right? But like the R&D that goes into console development would be horrible, right? They would spend too much money, and then they would just find themselves in a bind,
right? To have all these years of success and non-success, and just their business accumulated to what it is now, they probably wouldn't want to risk putting a console out, especially if like EA is not going to support it, or Microsoft is not going to support it. If they don't get like those kind of third party, Sega sadly wouldn't be strong enough to live off of their first party games and everything.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they sold off Visual Concepts to 2K to stay alive. Remember? They had NBA 2K locked up. That was their game.
Yeah.
And to stay afloat, they sold that and then sold the rest of the company to Sammy, right? That was the whole thing.
Yeah, I still don't know how they sold it to Sammy. I had to read about that story. I didn't even know that they sold it to him.
Or they merged or something. I don't know. Something along those lines, right? Like it was a weird thing. Anyways, yes, Switch 2 turned into Sega talk.
But I really think that I think Switch 2 is going to have a lot of possibilities for gaming. I think when it hits about 2026, we will really see how the industry is going to be looking. Because we'll have like all 3 consoles, and
their prime
PC servers. Yeah. And so, it'll be like, okay, this is the first year for Switch 2. Let's see what they do from January to December with the other consoles and other handheld PCs.
Speaking of Switch 2, when do you guys think it's going to come out?
I'm thinking November.
I'm thinking September, because it'll give you time to, like, you want the hardcore to buy it initially, right?
Yeah.
So you
Are
want
you
it
guys
out.
buying it or thinking about
Yes,
buying it day
I
one?
am. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to
100%.
try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The and then like you want to refill that stock before the holiday, right?
Yeah.
That would be I would actually say they might get it out at the end of August.
I'm thinking like a summer launch, like maybe I've heard June. I've heard sometime in June is when it, because I've heard that so the Nintendo experiences that are happening around the world. I don't know if you guys are going, but the last one ends in June somewhere. So I'm thinking like maybe a week after that is like when it will come up, because that way you have the summer to play it, restock for the holiday, and then just go hard.
So I'm hoping that they have it at PAX East this year. Like if we could get our hands on it at PAX East,
I thought
really
about
want
that
to get.
too.
I really would love to get my hands on it because I know the lines are going to be super long.
Yeah.
But like for the content creators and like us at Boss Rush, we're going to try to get it in that line.
Least, like have my hands on it and just give like a short speech about it.
Right.
I would enjoy
Nintendo. Nintendo knows it's going to want that coverage of what everybody thinks about the system.
I think on top of that, Ed, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, no, go ahead.
I think on top of that, like you're going to see all these indie studios wanting to put their games on Switch too. We remember last year at PAX, I'm not going to reveal who they were, but they were planning on showing their game on Switch 2 last year at PAX.
Yeah.
They told us that they had access to stuff for Switch 2. Multiple smaller developers said that. So like, they're ready. They're ready to put these games out.
Yeah.
I think the launch games for Switch 2 are going to be so like all over the place, but in a good way.
Yeah.
Well, I think we'll probably get another Bomberman from Konami. I think we'll probably get some new NSO games for it. I think if people will have questions about the cloud-based games for the system, how and more of how would they run on Switch 2, and if those cloud-based games are going to be worth the purchasing and everything. I think when people, like you mentioned, the upscaling, Andre, I think games like Princess Peach, the Princess Peach games, both of the Legend of Zelda, like Echoes of Wisdom and Link's Awakening from Grazo, people going to try like those kind of games that had the technical problems. Those are the ones that's going to get tried on, is to see what can the system do. Does the upscaling work, and does the system give it a better performance?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to show that off during their thing next in April, right?
Because like I was telling Corey, Andre, I was just like, Digital Foundry is going to get a workout with Switch 2 in their games. That's going to get a lot of views and a lot of content. That's going to draw people in to be like, okay, if we want to know how this game really, really does on Switch 2 compared to the Switch 1, Digital Foundry is going to be the number one source that people go to.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of indie companies that are like, hey, we want to be in on the action.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Oh yeah,
they know that's been the best place for indies since the Vita died, right? I mean, honestly,
they have seen the success of their games being on Switch, because I'm like, Switch led them to not only selling well on digital, but people double dipping for their physicals. So that's been keeping their businesses really afloat, and everything. So it's going to be like, oh, go ahead, Corey.
I know overwhelmingly the indie scene is kind of like, there is so much trash on the eShop every day that you open it and there's like,
oh my god, the amount of BS on the eShop is, and like the amount of games that I see on there that are like inappropriate, I'm like, this is insane. I'm like,
Hentai
why
Legends 3 Pro Deluxe Edition? That's like it's like $39.99, but they put it on sale for $1.99, so you buy it.
Yeah, like, look, I'll buy it. No, I'm just kidding. But it's just like it's in.
Look, that's the other memory card, guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
Relax, guys. Yeah. Anyways, as I was saying, it's crazy the amount of like nonsense, and the eShop is just laggy. Like, let's not get started on the eShop. The eShop is a horrible service. I'll say that the eShop is bad. It is laggy. It takes forever for things to load. Like it sucks. I'll be very honest. It sucks.
It's bad. It's really bad.
What's one feature that you guys are really hoping that the Switch 2, like my hope is that we'll be able to like customize like our home screen with like wallpapers or like boot up like
the
boot
3DS
up animations
kind of
or something. Yeah, right. Like stuff like that. Like I think that would help personalize your Switch a lot more.
Yeah, I think that's coming, Andre. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I think it's coming. I hope our theory about that screen they patented comes true.
What screen?
This was the other thing Ed and I were talking about, Andre. There's been the thing has resurfaced that Nintendo patented an attachable screen in 2022.
Oh, because now it has the USB-C on top, so then they can do.
Yeah, but you can flip it 2 different ways, right? And there's a screen on each side of it.
Okay.
And whichever screen is on, the other one turns off.
Got it.
So my thought was you can plug it into the top of the Switch 2.
Yeah.
And it becomes a DS or a 3DS, and you can play. And they'll start putting DS and 3DS games on on NSO, right? Yeah. Or if you want to play those games on the TV, you flip the screen around and an attachment similar to the ones that come with the Joy-Cons, right?
Oh, but it's for the screen.
Yeah. And it becomes your Wii U gamepad type situation.
That would be revolutionary.
And that's how you get your DS and 3DS games on there.
Right.
Now, whether they're remakes or remasters, or that screen itself has a cartridge slot in it, which would be awesome.
That'd be kind of crazy. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So now, speaking about the screen, do you guys think LCD or OLED?
LCD. It's LCD.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fair. I've heard tons of people say that.
Yeah. I mean, they haven't confirmed, but I think if it was an OLED screen, people would have been leaking that already, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, like, LCDs come a long way.
Yeah. And they want to keep that price down too, right? And they
because if they do OLED, they have to hike up the price.
Yeah. Plus, they purchased all of those 8-inch Samsung screens like during the pandemic when Samsung decided they weren't going to make 8-inch tablets anymore. And that's why the screen is 8 inches, because they bought like all of those like for a third of the price that they normally cost in bulk.
Yeah.
And that's why I think that patented screen is also coming out. Like I told Ed, like that you could sell just as many Switch 2s as Switches, and half of those screens, like those attachable screens, and have just as many of those screens left over with how many they bought from Samsung.
That's a lot.
They bought something like 200 million screens or something from them.
Oh my God. That's insane.
Yeah. It was ridiculous. And like, I didn't believe the number when we saw the report, or when we heard about it. I was like, that number's way too high. And then you go and look.
That's a made up number.
Yeah. But you think about how many tablets Samsung sells, Android tablets, they're attached to every Android tablet. Yeah. They make the screens for iPad, right? Samsung's the screen provider for iPad.
Yeah.
Also. So like, yeah, they're going to have a ton of these screens lying around.
A bazillion of them, yeah. And that makes sense. Yeah. But yeah, that's just hopes and dreams for the Switch 2 are very high, and I have no doubt that they won't deliver, but I guess only time will kind of tell.
Yeah.
Me and Corey was talking about them having their own social media app, or their own social media. I heard about that.
Yeah.
And we were talking about how they could use that for doing we call them stamps instead of like trophies and achievements. Like you could do your stamps and then have them connected to your Switch 2.
Which they left him in Super Mario 3D World, by the way. Just point that out.
I go back to Mission Web before Redbox had went down, but like if they had like a vending machine, you have your Switch 2, you want to buy games there, or if during that app you could buy Nintendo games and it automatically down on your load on your system and stuff. So that's something I hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, just bring back Street Pass. It's simple.
Yep. We talked about that too.
That too.
Street Pass would make going to the mall nuts.
So before we dive into the social media thing, because I feel like Andre out of anybody would have something to say about the social media thing. Do we want to make that its own episode? Do we want to cut it right here and do that episode now?
I'm down. If you guys are.
Well,
because we've already been going for an hour and 15 minutes.
So we can make it its own episode. Let's wrap this one up, and we'll do that for the next discussion. So everybody, this was Expansion Pass. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. And Andre, thank you for joining us. We're gonna come back with more discussion about Switch 2 because there's a lot of speculation of what the system could be, about the specs, but the social media app could be a big thing for Nintendo. But then everybody, we'll see you next time on Expansion Pass. Bye everybody.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.